What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video where today we'll be covering the 7 times Vegeta surpassed Goku. Since the Saiyan saga until present day Dragon Ball Super, there have been 7 different occasions when Vegeta has successfully managed to become equals to, or in some instances even surpass Goku. Of course, for all of these instances, Goku has also come back even stronger. Yet when he does, his new power, contrary to Vegeta's, always seem to be multiplied exponentially. But today, we're here to talk about Vegeta and how that pattern might finally be changing in this rivalry. So, spoiler alert, there's going to be one occasion when Goku has yet to close the gap between Vegeta and himself. So stay tuned in to find out when that happens. After the Namek arc, Vegeta set out into space to train and look for Goku. In his journey, he kept pushing himself to attain the Super Saiyan transformation, but to no avail. It wasn't until the 3-year gap, when everyone was training for the androids, that Vegeta had that spark. Vegeta was pushed to his limits by his own emotions and no longer by his own ego that allowed him to transform finally. He used the feeling of being overshadowed by a lower class Saiyan and not being the first to attain this form. So now we fast forward to the arrival of the androids, and Goku begins to fight 19. At first he was dominating the battle, yet the tide quickly turned in 19's favor. 19 absorbed all of the energy from the Kamehameha wave, and now Goku was finally feeling the strain from the heart virus as well. 19 started beating Goku around, and the rest of the gang stepped up to get him out of there. That's when 20 stepped in, and he seemed to have disabled Piccolo with his eye beams, but luckily Vegeta showed up to save Goku. He takes over Goku's spot in the fight versus Android 19 and surprises everyone once more, turning into a Super Saiyan. And finally, this would be giving Vegeta his moment to shine. Everyone was shocked, utterly confused, how Vegeta was able to transform. Meanwhile, Vegeta ends up pummeling the android and eventually destroying him. And it's later confirmed that Piccolo even admits that Vegeta had surpassed Goku in power, with the evidence from this manga panel. Right after exiting the time chamber, Vegeta and Trunks flew straight for Semi-Perfect Cell so Vegeta could fight him. As Vegeta was making his way over to him, he picks up Cell's key and questions what everyone was so afraid of. They arrive at the island where Cell and the androids are, and Cell would continue to brush Vegeta and his bravado right off. Even 18 was flipping out about how stupid it would be for him to fight Cell. Android 16, though, remarks that there is something different about Vegeta, that he has changed. Vegeta smirks at Cell and begins to power up to Super Saiyan Grade 2. Becoming Super Vegeta. The scene would go back and forth between him powering up and Piccolo and Tien saying how his ki continues to rise. Even Cell is shocked about his new power. Now fully powered up, he begins fighting Cell and showcasing all of his new power all over him. Granted, Vegeta was only able to surpass anybody because of the year in the time chamber, yet nonetheless, at this moment, he was the most powerful Saiyan on the roster. So this is the big one that's going to be debated and judged about the most, but wait until the end of the video so that you can hear my point. So during the Buu arc, Vegeta allowed himself to be controlled by Babidi and become Majin Vegeta. I think he did this because for a brief moment during Goku's fight with Yakon, he went Super Saiyan 2 and Vegeta realized that there's still a slight power gap between the two of them. So he allowed himself to be controlled and subsequently had to have gained a power boost from this as well. As we saw in their fight that the gap was non-existent. They were equals at this point. Yes, everyone knows that Goku was keeping Super Saiyan 3 secret out of the fight, but the point I'm arguing is Vegeta's Super Saiyan 2 power was caught up to Goku's. So now let's recall back for a second to the Cell arc, right after Goku and Gohan exited the Room of Spirit in time, and how much of a power difference Goku had over Vegeta, to the point that Goku outright made fun of Vegeta's power and him needing all of the time in the chamber to catch up to him again. Goku had never done this to any other fighter in the entire series, so the power gap must have been that big that he boasted about it so much. Even after Vegeta spent another turn in the chamber, there was still no comparison between the two. Now we know that both of them trained during the 7-year time skip, but Vegeta had to push himself to even further limits to catch up. But this was all worth mentioning during their fight in the Buu arc. No one had a single clue to the new transformation. The main argument I want to leave this point with is that during the 7-year time gap, and possibly with more help from becoming Majin, Vegeta managed to train his base and match that of Goku's. But comment below on your thoughts. Do you think that it's very impressive that Vegeta was able to match up with Goku's Super Saiyan 2 power, or should it be completely discredited because of the Super Saiyan 3 transformation? At the very beginning of Dragon Ball Super, and also seen during the God of Destruction movie, Beerus became very unhappy with Bulma's party and decided to blow up the Earth. So the Z Fighters all attacked him, but even Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta was unable to match Beerus in any way. Completely displeased with Beerus' actions, Bulma confronts Beerus for ruining her birthday and slaps him. So Beerus slaps her right back, and that's what pushes Vegeta beyond into an enraged state. As Vegeta powered up in his enraged form and started fighting Beerus again, Master Roshi points out that Bulma getting hit made Vegeta even angrier and stronger than Goku at that moment. Now, while being powered up, he was still no match for Beerus, and the match ended up being interrupted by Goku showing up and eventually gaining the Super Saiyan God form through the ritual, allowing Beerus to have a formidable fight. Yet even though Vegeta was able to surpass him for that brief moment, this just means that the power was inside Vegeta, he just needed a reason to access it. So really up until this point, Vegeta's character development had finally hit full circle. He had finally given up on the idea that he can only become stronger by training alone, or rather said he doesn't need anyone's help in getting stronger. This new mindset allows him to train with Whis for 6 months, and thus allowing him to surpass the same Goku who just recently attained Super Saiyan God and was that much stronger than they could have possibly ever imagined. So at this point, Vegeta had been training for Whis for about 6 months before Goku even knew he had left with him. So of course the next time Whis comes back to visit Bulma, she told Goku about it so that he can also come and join Whis and Vegeta. As soon as they arrive on Beerus' planet, Goku already notes that there is something different about Vegeta and that he has gotten stronger. Then as their training progresses, during one of the exercises, Whis doubles Vegeta's weight. He would have only done this if he thought that Vegeta was getting used to the original weight, but throughout those 6 months, aside from gaining the ability to sense God Ki, he was also able to understand the importance of training with those who are significantly stronger than he is and seeing the value in teachers. He was even fine to the idea of having Goku around as they continue to train with Whis. This was something that would have never happened during Dragon Ball Z. During Vegeta's and Black's first encounter, Black wasn't even fazed by Vegeta's Super Saiyan Blue form. Vegeta was shocked at his speed and eventually was overpowered with a single kick. Black would then proceed to transform into Super Saiyan Rose and mock Vegeta, calling him a curtain raiser, and how their fight was over. Vegeta, enraged by all of these comments, will go all out on Black, catching him by surprise with a few attacks. But a moment later, we realize that Black was just still playing with Vegeta and ends up stabbing him. Black roasts him one more, calling him an exquisite appetizer instead. Goku steps in for Vegeta and begins fighting Black, but their fight was interrupted moments later by Zamasu. The fight goes on with Trunks teaming up with Goku, but they're both overwhelmed by Black and Zamasu and have to retreat back to the past. Back in their own timeline, Vegeta resorts back to the time chamber while Goku ventures out to learn the Mafuba at Master Roshi's. Fast forwarding, they travel back to future Trunks' time and begin fighting Black again, when this time Vegeta has made a complete 180 on Black, being able to pummel him into the ground and call him a disgrace and so on. While Vegeta was training in the time chamber, he had presumably found a training method that puts Goku's to shame, since even when Goku became enraged with Black, Black was able to casually adapt to the new boost and still overpower him. Vegeta finally understood that he needs to access his anger against Black and everything that he has put Trunks through in order to excel his own power. And now originally, he used that same method to fuel his desire and his ability in order to obtain Super Saiyan so many years prior. Back during the Tournament of Power, Vegeta steps up to fight Jiren, despite after seeing how powerful Ultra Instinct was and still that form was unable to hurt Jiren. Yet he rushes into battle with him and even starts to make him sweat. And this is the Vegeta without Ultra Instinct, without Kaioken on top of Blue, and without being pushed beyond his limits to attain Blue Evolution. This would be the first point in that shows the difference between Goku and Vegeta's Blue forms. Later, as Vegeta and Goku team up to fight Jiren, that even though they were artistically depicted being side by side and as equals, we see that during the fight that Blue Evolution is superior to Blue Kaioken through Vegeta's performance against Jiren. So at the end of episode 131, Goku states that he cannot tap into Ultra Instinct, that the transformation happened by mistake and he's unable to get there again. Meanwhile, Vegeta never states that he can't attain Blue Evolution again. He most certainly can. Goku's explanation of Ultra Instinct was that it was during the tournament and he was pushed beyond his own limits, and so technically speaking, it might be possible for Goku to attain this form again in the future if he's placed in a similar situation and against his limit. But this is all speculation for now, since for the current time, only Vegeta can truly stay in his new evolution form, while Goku cannot do the same with Ultra Instinct. Vegeta goes on to further say that he will strive now to attain something greater than Ultra Instinct, but that this would be his own version of the transformation. Yet this is also something we're going to have to see in the future. I also did want to mention and give credit where it's due, as a side note, that Dragon Ball Super has been doing a phenomenal job between both of their differences. And I've been wondering for some time now how Vegeta has consistently caught up to each and every single time Goku unlocks a new power, but Goku never takes a break from his training and is always shown to give 1000% towards it. So it begs the question, how much harder and more beneficial does Vegeta train? And yeah, Goku may have been born with more natural potential, but hats off to our underdog, he really is the true MVP. Maybe in the future we'll have a more definite understanding to Vegeta's training, and it could make a possible video topic, so stay tuned and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. And don't forget to comment below what your thoughts are about this list. Have a wonderful day, everybody.